Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be ranking some doctors, but probably not the doctors you were expecting. We're going to be looking at the non-mainline Doctor Who actors. Specifically, we're going to be looking at Richard Hurndall, John Hurt, Joe Martin, and my mind goes blank, David Bradley. David Bradley in the role. And we're going to be ranking just those four from worst to best. All four of them are good. But I'm going to rank them kind of my least favorite to my favorite. At the bottom at number 4 is David Bradley, actually. David Bradley is a good first Doctor, and he's a really good first Doctor if modern Doctor Who is really your only exposure to the first Doctor. And for a lot of viewers, that's the first Doctor they ever, the first Doctor they ever saw. That's who they associate as the first Doctor, maybe even more than Hartnell, because that's the one they've seen, you know, these people who really just mostly watch the modern show. But the more you see of Hartnell, if you go back and watch more of Hartnell, the more you realize how Bradley's first Doctor and Hartnell's first Doctor are very different. To Bradley's credit, he is not doing a Hartnell impersonation. He is kind of doing his own thing with the role. But that is a double-edged sword. You're giving an actor the freedom to kind of mold the role the way you want, but at the same time, it's so different that it feels off to those of us who are more familiar with the first Doctor and how he acts. In my case, as I've gone back since Twice Upon a Time and seen more of Hartnell's era, Twice Upon a Time becomes a little more noticeable. It feels more like an alternate universe version of the first Doctor. I don't feel like when I watch David Bradley, I'm seeing the same character as when I'm watching 60s Doctor Who with the first Doctor. It feels like a different character. Similar, but it's still a different character. Like the Unbound first Doctor maybe has crossed the universes. That's the reason why he's this low. He's still a good first Doctor. And if I turn off the fact he's not reminding me of Hartnell, I can enjoy him. But it's just enough to where it feels a little out of place, and that's why he's at the bottom. Next on the list, and 2 and 3 are almost a tie, they flip-flop, let me be clear. I like them both, is John Hurt's War Doctor. I love John Hurt as the War Doctor. John Hurt's just a good actor in general. He has such a presence to him. And I enjoyed him as the War Doctor, but all we really got from him was Day of the Doctor and some spin-off material. I've never heard any of his Big Finish stuff, even though I know the War Doctor's continuing in Big Finish with someone else voicing him. I have read one of his novels, the Engines of Vengeance or something like that, that one of my subscribers sent. It's a great book, by the way. I recommend it. It's a really good read. He actually has a really nice kind of companion-like character in it with him as well. I very much enjoyed the read. But one of the reasons he slightly loses out to number 2 is the fact with John Hurt having passed away, there won't be any future opportunities to have him in the show. So we really just have the end of the Name of the Doctor and Day of the Doctor. And Day of the Doctor, he's good what we get of him, but he does kind of end up playing third fiddle to the, preppy, dreamy Doctors. And that's just how it is. So he kind of falls here because of that. He's still a great Doctor. I love the War Doctor. He was a great inclusion into the Doctor Who mythos. Just squeaking past him is number 2 on the list, which is Joe Martin's Fugitive Doctor. While I'm not the biggest fan of her being a pre-Hartnell Doctor, I would have preferred for her to have been a season 6B Doctor or season 6C Doctor. Somewhere between Troughton and Pertwee would have made way more sense. I can't deny the fact that Joe Martin is good in the role when we've gotten her. She's good. She has this presence in the room. And again, that's true of John Hurt as well, and the number 1 choice as well. But she's just so good. I love the fact that you can see her channeling Capaldi and Hartnell. And she's even mentioned in interviews that she looked kind of to Capaldi's Doctor for inspiration. And the way she carries herself, she's the smartest one in the room. I love in that scene in Power of the Doctor when the hologram was disguised her and she walks into the room, literally everyone turns to look. She commands the presence that way. I would actually enjoy seeing more of Joe Martin's Doctor. I'm glad she's getting her stuff in Big Finish. She's a great actress in the role, and I wouldn't mind her coming back into the show. I still wish they would somehow not make her a pre-Hartnell Doctor, because it's just weird. She has a police box-shaped TARDIS. Some of that stuff really doesn't make sense. But as an actress in the role, she just knocked it out of the park. And number one on the list for me, easily, is Richard Hurndall's first Doctor. I love Richard Hurndall as the first Doctor. He was my first Doctor, because the first exposure I had to the first Doctor was the 5 Doctors. And aside from that brief clip of Hartnell at the beginning from Dalek Invasion of Earth, I had Richard Hurndall in there. And I like Richard Hurndall because he feels like the first Doctor. He feels like William Hartnell's character of the first Doctor. I like that. He commands the room. Like, your eyes are always on him. He always feels like he holds himself. Again, like I mentioned with the others, he has a presence to him. You know, most of the other Doctors kind of defer to him. Like, the 5th Doctor is almost in awe of him when he meets him. You know, you're here. Oh, my dear fellow, let me help you. I like that when he's talking to Tegan. She's like, well, who might you be? Or who may you be? Whatever he says. He goes, I might be any number of people. I happen to be the Doctor. The original, you might say. The way he delivers that line with such presence and command of the room, I love that. I love that. I love that he's the one who figures out the riddle at the end. When they're all like, no, he shouldn't get the power. The first Doctor's like, don't listen to them. He deserves the power. You think he's earned it? Yes, I do. It's the first Doctor that works it out. The first Doctor is treated with the proper reverence, not only by the Terrence Dixon writing the episode, but by the other Doctors in the episode. And I love that about that. And I just feel like the way he walks and talks, it's, again, not 100% Hartnell, but it's very close to it, and it's got the spirit of Hartnell. I like when they do beat Barusa at the end, Richard Hurndall does that little laugh. He turns out, he's like, it's not exactly Hartnell's laugh, but it's close to it. It's similar to it, and it's done like at the right time that it reminds me of it. It harkens back to it. So that, I love that. I absolutely love Richard Hurndall's first Doctor. He just nails it. I feel like I'm watching Hartnell's first Doctor. And even going back and seeing more of Hartnell hasn't put me off Hurndall's Doctor at all. That's the sign of an actor playing the character well. I don't think he's doing a Hartnell impression, but he's sticking close enough to the source material that it naturally feels like the same character. And I really enjoy that. I really get the impression Richard Hurndall really liked playing that role, especially when you see that little commercial advertisement for it with him and Peter Davison when they drive in like on the cart or the van or whatever it was together to advertise the episode. I love that. He just seems like he's having such a good time, and I absolutely love it. So Richard Hurndall, definitely my favorite actor to play the Doctor that's not one of my 13, not one of the main 13. Speaking of which, I prefer him over actual number 13. But I prefer all of the ones on this list over main number 13. So I want to know how you would rank these 4 actors. Comment down below and let me know. Other things to do. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button. That helps me out. And I certainly appreciate it. I also have YouTube memberships available if you're interested in that. There's links to that down there. I have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that and get early access to videos and some exclusive videos as well. Links to that down there. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. My P.O. box is down there if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review, and a link to my Amazon wish list is down there as well. Most importantly, thank you for watching.